What's good, y'all? Welcome to Let's Banter. We on episode 5. Shout out to y'all that's been tuning in, and shout out to the new viewers. If you're new here, you're just checking us out, welcome. Wanted to get into our episode today. We are going to talk about lesbian stereotypes.
The stereotypes. But before that, we should introduce ourselves, brother, in case we got some new audience members.
Right. Myself, follow me at Ma'am Sir Kayla, and my boy.
Myself, Champagne Ojla. Follow me. We already know Drake is probably never going to win or resurrect, but we still out here, boys. Let's get to it. Lesbian stereotypes. Let's talk about them. There's a few out there. So we're going to go through like what we've come across. I'm sure there's a ton of lesbian stereotypes out there. So if there's one that you want to share, please comment below, either on the video, hit us up on IG, hit us up on TikTok. We'd love to hear what y'all folks have experienced. But I think the first one I just want to get into that's just like labeled with lesbians is the Uhaul. Like, it is just forever ingrained with, if you're a lesbian and you start dating another lesbian woman, you're automatically going to lead to Uhaul or moving too fast. Have you experienced that? Have you ever? Well, let me define Uhaul. Uhaul is you move in with the girl you are dating by your second date. That's how I understand it. Have you ever done that?
Not by the second date, no.
Have you ever lived with a girlfriend
weeks
before or an ex?
Yes. Well, yes. They moved in with me at my Daly City house.
Okay.
And what happened? Their living situation was just a bit difficult at that time. And then that's when I offered. I was like, you can stay in with me. But that wasn't after the second date. That was just like we were actually dating for I don't know. Actually, what was it, like a month or so? Again, that relationship didn't really last long. But we definitely she moved into my place, but of course I had other roommates with me, so it wasn't just full on me and her. But yeah, she moved in with me, and then the rest is history from then, which we'll definitely talk about later on.
Got you. I've only lived with one of my exes, and we moved in like after a year and a half, 2 years. We were long distance, and we moved in. Definitely wasn't a U-Haul situation. So I don't know if I want to debunk that stereotype. Like, personally, identifying as lesbian, I've never gone through a U-Haul situation. I don't think anyone I really know has gone through it, but I'm curious though, like if you have gone through a U-Haul situation, I would actually love to hear your story, because I'm so intrigued by, like, did you feel like it was too fast? Did you feel like it was still right? Like, I'm so intrigued. So if there is anyone listening out there that does have a U-Haul story and relates to this stereotype, would love to hear more on that. But yeah, no, we haven't gone through that. So that's definitely one stereotype that comes across.
When it comes to U-Haul, like, do you think like women do it just because like we're so passionate with our emotions? Like,
I was just gonna say that. So
like that's what we come in with, the intent of like, oh, you're giving me the whole love language, all of this, the whole package. Like, yeah. I'm ready for it all.
So like, I don't know. I mean, you've dated straight women. I have dated straight women.
Excuse me? First of all,
just putting all your business out there, calling a spade. But my experience with straight women and having a tendency to move fast is the emotional connection, because they don't get that from men. So for me with straight women, it was the intimacy. Like, when you are intimate, when it comes to women versus men versus women, it's very different. It's more passionate. So I feel like the emotions are just everywhere, and you feel everything throughout your body, inside and out. So I could see that's why we get that sense of security with women a bit quicker, but it's not always true. Like,
that's a fact.
I've gotten a sense of security with somebody, come to find out like we're not meant for each other, or they weren't ready for something committed, whereas I was, right? But I think in the beginning, it feels so good, and we just are sitting on that high that we just like bet everything on that feeling. You know what I mean? So yeah, with U-Haul, I knew it's always been labeled with, lesbianism. Again, I personally never have gone through it, but I'd be curious to just hear someone's story and what they've gone through. So I do feel like the next level of a person's relationship, whether it's heterosexual, homosexual, etc., should be living together, right? Like to see like, okay, now that we've like committed to one another, we've been around each other's personalities, social, friends, family. And the next level is like, how are we living together? And those come with its own challenges, right? And again, that allows the relationship to grow and develop into something more, which can turn into like a lifelong commitment and family and so on and so forth. If you want to go down that road, right? There's some people that probably don't want to go down that road, and that's fine too. So yeah, I've only lived with one ex. I'm not opposed to like moving in with a future or current and all that. Like I'm open to it, but I think for me is just lessons learned from my previous relationship into what I'm bringing into my new one. So yeah, so that's definitely one big one.
Next one is studs.
Yeah, next one is this labeling, y'all.
Oh, can I ask you a question? When was the first time you heard the term stud?
Oh man, I heard it when I was 17, when I was young.
Oh really?
Yeah, I heard studs, femmes, stems. I didn't hear butch and dyke often growing up, and maybe that was more like a West Coast Bay Area thing, but I definitely heard like, yeah, studs, femme, and stem, or lipstick lesbian. What about you?
Mine's the opposite, actually. I heard
Really?
butch and dyke first.
And that's so interesting because you're in San Diego, right? Like more Southern California, and I'm in the Bay. So that's so interesting.
Like, okay, so studs, I didn't hear about that until like I came up here and
Really?
met all y'all, and that's when I was like, wait. I remember actually, like, well, very faintly in a way. So I remember I was with my roommates and they were talking about the term stud, and I was like, what is like stud? What does that mean, right? I'm over here like freaking young baby stud over here asking these questions, and they're like, oh, it's like you're a mass presenting type of lesbian or whatever, right? And I was like, what? Stud? Ever since I learned that word, I was like, yeah, I'm a stud. Yeah, what are you? I'm a stud.
And no offense, it kind of sounds cooler than butch and dyke.
Yes,
like,
it does.
No offense to our people out there that identify as that. Love is love. We're here for you. But for me personally, I'm like, stud just seems more of like the Bay vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what you just said, you made a point too, is that studs was always associated with mask presenting women.
It was.
Right? So it's kind of like the conversation we had earlier. It was like, I feel like within our own community, we try to find a label for everything.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So growing up with this like stud environment, I had always felt like I had to hide or like kind of like suppress my feminine energy because I like men clothes. I like wearing baggy clothes, and eventually in 2015 I cut my hair, right? And so like that's me looking more masculine, but a mask presenting woman shouldn't have feminine energy, right? Like that was kind of like what we grew around in the younger like baby gay days is what we call it. But in those days it was like for you to show your feminine energy, they kind of like call you out like, oh, why are you being such a girl? Or they would call me like pretty boy or something like that because I had that feminine energy within me. So yeah, it was a little intimidating kind of growing up around those labels and titles too, because even when dating and talking to other women that were like femme presenting or, the lipstick lesbians, I always felt like I had to be mask and like have mask energy all the time because that's what the femme or lipstick lesbian women were looking for. Right? I don't know your experience, but
I definitely, I would plus one to that, honestly. I feel like, but then again, I guess it just depends on how I would feel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we kind of briefly talked about it before of, do we have, like, what do you identify? Do you have some femme energy or whatnot? And you were talking about the pretty boy term.
Yeah. I always got that. And it's because I felt like I got that. Because I'm one, like, I'm big on hygiene, but I just like to take care of myself. Like, the only makeup I ever do, if you all see it, is my eyebrows. Like, all I do is brush my eyebrows up because they're thick as fuck and I just need them to stay in place. You feel me? But, like, that's the only, growing up, and this was when I was still, like, lost in my own identity. But around middle school, I was wearing like mascara, like, cause I was like and we'll have to get into that another episode, but I was like a full on girl. I was shopping at Basic, wearing the little baby girl shirts and the little, the silver belts. Like, bro, I was a full on girly girl, like, you know, going to Claire's for the jewelry and all that bullshit. Like, and so that's the only time. So as I kind of evolved into like who I really am, there's still certain sides of me where I'm like, okay, I want to get like my nails done. Or like right now I have a little bit of polish on. You feel me? Like, I don't know. I just kind of express myself differently, but I feel like there's an association of like, that's my femme energy. And today I truly embrace both my masculine and my feminine energy. I would say a few years ago, I was trying to hide it. Like, no, like, you know, I would get offended. I don't know why, but I was like, no, like I don't have feminine energy. Like, you know, I have mask energy, like I'm mask presenting, but I just felt like it was the pressure of growing up within this queer society of like labeling, right? So,
Yeah, I think that's what also I was like facing, like struggling with is like the whole labeling thing. Because for me, I never really understood or identified if I did have femininity. Like I would relate that to, I feel like it's me having my period, me grooming myself, just like you said, me being sensitive during my period. Like, I don't know. I feel like I kind of have a different understanding, or I'm not understanding it correctly. But I've always just been such a tomboy at heart.
I feel you.
Growing up, in terms of the butch, right? Like I learned those terms first. My uncle would call me butch all the time. Like, as I was growing up, right? And then when he fully found out that I was gay.
Oh, this is when you were just presenting as a tomboy. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Did he knew what it meant? Or?
I think he would just like, stereotype me because he would probably see, other women that are tomboy in a sense would be like very broad shoulders or, I don't know. I think he would compare me to like some of his friends or people that he knew. So I actually have to have a full conversation. I would find out the facts on that. But he would always call me Butch because my nickname when I was young was Killer. And he would just like call me all these names. And I'm just like, what are you calling me this for?
Yeah.
Later on, later in life, in my adult life, I found out like what it really meant. And I was like, well, if it is what it is, then it is what it is. Like I never, with the whole stud name and dyke, whatever, all of that stuff, I never really cared about it because I was just like, oh, this is a new, like learning the LGBTQIA where it keeps expanding. Yeah, I was like, oh, another one? Yeah. All right, bet. Well, yeah, I'm part of that community.
It's an evolving community. And like, you just reminded me though, I got called Butch when I cut my hair short.
Oh, really?
So butch is associated to like short hair, baggy clothes, all that. Somebody, I don't know, forgot how the conversation came up, but they're like, oh yeah, you're a butch lesbian. And I was like, I don't think I am. And it's because my short hair. Like that's the, I guess the myth or like the assumption, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like if you're butch, you have short hair, baggy clothes, playing sports, whatever. Like again, labeling and putting somebody in a box. So that's so interesting to see like the transition with that. And then, the energy associated to it. Like I was, when I was dating last year, somebody had asked me like, do I have more masc or feminine energy? And, I kind of thought about it. Like I was a little scared to even say I had feminine energy because I feel like with a femme presenting women or, lipstick lesbians, whatever you prefer to call yourself, I felt like being a mask presenting woman, if I do say I have feminine energy, some women don't want that. Like they want like all mask energy from what I've seen. So luckily this person I'm talking about, like she had made me feel comfortable. And I had said, like I'm open to tap more into my feminine energy, like whether it's sexually, whether it's just, day-to-day basis when it comes to my emotions, when it comes to me vocalizing how I'm feeling, when it comes to like when I'm on time of the month, like, I want to be cuddled. You feel me? I want to be little spoon sometimes. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, But again, it comes with, at least for me, it comes with that pressure of like, okay, now you're not being like man enough. You're not being masculine. You're not being macho. You're being like a girl,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. What about you? Would you say you have like a mix of both? Would you say you're tapping more into your femme energy, or do you feel like you're overall just always have had masc energy?
I always felt like I've had masc energy. I think I didn't really touch into my femme energy until I started dating Amaryllis.
Brought it out of you. I love that. Love that.
She brings in my. If y'all could only see her face right now.
What does she do? What does she bring in for you?
Over here, like
she's all blushing. She's like, "What I do for you, girl?"
Well, I think she just brings all of that out of me, like, and I'm able to stay my true self, whether I'm masc or I'm giving masc energy or I'm giving femme energy. At the end of the day, it's really just she loves me for who I am.
That is. Like, you hit the nail, because it's the feeling safe.
Yes.
The safe space. Like, the person I'm with now, she makes me feel safe. She allows me to be my true self, whether it's, like, my femme energy, my masc energy. Like, if I'm in my feels, she'll acknowledge that and she'll be there for me. But, like, that support system is so important, because my previous relationship was the complete opposite. Like, I didn't feel safe to be myself, and I felt like if I was trying to be myself, I was always judged.
So it was only just the masc energy that she wanted.
It was ideally the masc energy, and anything like feminine would
turn her off.
Just, it would be like, oh, like, you're being such a girl, and I'm like, well, I am a girl, or I am a female. You know what I'm saying?
Here we go back to that. I'm a girl.
Yeah, like I don't know what happened here, but just because I'm mass presenting doesn't mean I'm still not a woman at the end of the day. And yes, I have. And on top of that, like, I mean, I'm a believer in, like, your zodiac signs, right? I'm a fucking Cancer. I'm very in touch with my emotions. I could be very passionate, but I could also just be very, like, sensitive to a certain extent, and, like, be emotional and just be myself. So having that safe space to just even explore your own energy, I think, is so important, because you'll always get scared of, like, what is the other person going to think about me if I show them this side, especially in the bedroom. That's one thing I've noticed with, like, being dominant and being submissive, is that a lot of couples don't feel comfortable exploring in the bedroom when it comes to, like, tapping into their masc or feminine energy, or, like, dominant and submissive, because they feel like, well, I'm no bitch, or, like, I'm not this, like, I'm not going to try that. Like, that's going to make me feel less than, or make me feel submissive, when I should be the alpha.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, you ain't not putting no goddamn hot dog through me. I'm sorry. I'm a golden star for a reason. I don't care if it's fake or if it's real. It ain't coming through me.
First of all, who putting a hot dog in you? Let's talk about that.
Just referring to something specific, okay? If you don't know, now you know. Come on,
Man.
Hell no, I am not allowing that thing go through me.
Okay, first of all, I hope it doesn't go through you. That's a lot concerning. It should go in you. But, you love what you love. And I think as long as you have a safe space to explore, that's what matters. Because you don't know what you like until you try it. Not saying put a hot dog in yourself, Kayla, or have Amar put a hot dog in you. But I'm just saying, in general, when it comes to the bedroom, just be open, y'all. And
I feel like I'm going to throw up if that were to ever happen to me.
Well, first of all, I hope it's not a hot dog. I hope it's either a vibrator.
I've gone close with the vibrators, but that thing was probably like this size.
Yeah, exactly. A little mini. I don't know about the strap.
After that, I say, whoa.
And, each their own with the strap.
The tampon would be the biggest size. That's it.
So just use a tampon next time.
Just fingers, God.
Point to be noted.
All right. I'm getting a little bit too personal here. Y'all know me for who I am.
Hot dogs. That's all. I just want a gift with, like, fucking weenies being thrown at your head.
This is literally what I thought of when I said it.
Smack all the hot dogs on Kayla, so she knows what it feels like to get hot dog slapped.
This took a turn. My bad, y'all, for whoever's watching.
It's all good. It's all love. This is the banter piece of it, right?
Right.
If you want to have some fun, come tap in. Come tune in with us. But you want some of my drink? Okay.
You're not even drinking your water.
What are we drinking? What's in our cup, y'all? Okay, she just said water.
Oh, sorry. I'm thirsty.
Just do a bleep when they come, so don't know what's in our drink. Another lesbian stereotype is you don't know if you're a lesbian unless you've been with a man.
I've heard that before.
I've heard of that. So let's talk about that a little bit. So I think it's defining what it is to be with a man. personally, you don't have to be with a man sexually in order to know that you're a lesbian. And I could speak on that. Like, I have kissed men before. I actually was like in love with a man back in high school, my freshman year, which was crazy. I don't know what got into me. No offense. We're still cool. Got love for you, but like it was crazy to me. So
Have I?
yeah, like I was head over heels for this guy, but it never went to that level of like intimacy or all that.
Not I, but you know what my friends will say from high school is that I had a weird incident when I don't know if it's actually an incident, but they told me that when I was, you know, on some things, on some crazy things, that, and we had like a drunken night at my best friend Lex's house. I just have so many stories with Lex. She might as well come up on this thing.
Tap in, Lex.
That, you know, I was so messed up that I was on my, he's actually one of my close friends, just till this day. And I was up on him and I was like, L, I love you, and blah, blah, blah. Like, are you okay? I was saying all these things to him, and I was like, hella messed up. And then everybody's all like, you got some, like, feelings for L right now? Like, what's going on? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then they was, like, running it with me that same night. Because I was, like, hugging up on him when he was, like, throwing up.
Oh,
and I was, like, saying all this emotional stuff to him. And I was like, that is my freaking brother, man. Me and him. If he ever watches this, because he's been tuning in. So, I love you, bro. You already know what it is. But hell nah. I ain't about your hot dog. Do you remember the guy's name that you had a crush on? Or you don't want to disclose it? You want to start with an initial?
H. He knows who he is. I mean, we used to talk about it all the time. But, like, I would, like, be on the phone with him. Like, through the night, we would be talking, texting, all that stuff. And, like, we had only kissed, and, like, that was it. And then this girl, I ain't gonna name names, who said she was my best friend, ended up dating him. I was like, well, fuck you then. But, yeah. You know, the toxicity was in the heterosexual life, too. I ain't even gonna lie. But I've gotten close to being intimate with a man, but like my vagina clenched.
Oh my gosh, same.
Yeah,
remember
like,
when
I couldn't.
When
the guy who took you out to the movies
took me out on a date at literally down the street from my house.
Hot date at Union Landing, y'all.
Took me to the movie theaters. And mind you, when he picked me up, we were both basically wearing the same thing. All right, so I remember me and him were both actually wearing the same thing when he took me out on a date over there in Union City.
Hey,
took me on a little movie date. I remember when he picked me up.
You know what he was trying to do at the movies, right? You know when a guy's trying to take you to the movies, you know what they're trying to do?
I didn't entertain.
He was trying to get
I didn't entertain because my butch self was like, hell nah. Just kidding. I got
scared. Watch out.
Shut up. What happened was he had actually picked me up from my ex's house.
Okay, question.
You hauled with me, I guess. Not technically.
Did he open your door?
Like, into his car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, he was trying to secure that bag. He was trying to secure that booty.
He met me at Logan when we were hooping. You remember that night?
That's wild.
And I remember when he took me over there after the movies, this fool was like, hugging me from behind. And mind you, when I met by like, we were wearing the same thing. Like, we both had on basketball shorts. He had like a white tee on. I had like my high school like graduation class sweater on or whatever. It was like, you know when in high school they had like 2011 sweaters.
Yeah.
So I had one of those. And I remember the first thing that was like alarming for me when he hugged me from the back, I felt that hot dog in between my cheeks.
The weenies. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like a scene from Love and Basketball.
I flipped. When that happened, I was like, ooh.
Damn.
Hey.
He said, hey, yo.
I was like, we good. We could just, hang out again, whatever. After that was it for me. They can't believe that. I tried.
Your booty clenched.
Yes, it
Everything
did.
clenched. Yeah, the clench be real, though, y'all. Like, for the lesbians that understand, that clench be real. Like, no matter what you do, no matter, like, how you try to, like, get into the foreplay. Nah, that clinch be real. Like, nope.
My cheeks just be acting on its own. It's like,
not letting you in. Not today, Satan. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Man.
I went into a little too deep with my details. But, yeah, I got to be real.
Getting back to the stereotype, though, not every lesbian has to. You can physically be with the man. You don't intimately have to be with the man to know that you're lesbian. But for me, I wanted to try and explore with men just to really, like, see if there's an option. Because, again, in, like, the first episode, I think I had mentioned, like, I felt this way at a very, very young age when I was in kindergarten. So I wasn't sure if it was, like, a phase or if I was just kind of going through different emotions. But then when I was getting with men to that extent, I was like, no, I can't do it. But with women, it's very easy for me to, obviously, when I feel safe in that space, to open up with intimacy and all that stuff. So, So yeah, we're debunking that stereotype for the most part, depending upon what your definition is.
What do you define yourself as?
I define myself as Aman.
Okay.
Yes, we out here. This is me. She, her, hers. AKA Aman. AKA Champagne Ojala. AKA.
That's a lot of AKAs, bro. You got a lot
And the
more
list
AKAs.
goes on. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like to label myself. Like, I feel like the way I dress is more of like a comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all know me, like, I just love fashion. So I love, like, putting fits together, doing different things. And as of lately.
Is she hearing fireworks? Bear, are you okay?
Moglish.
Oh, poor baby.
Our baby, our
Sorry,
mascot.
y'all. My poor dog.
And lately, actually, I would be curious to be like, hey, what if I wore, like, a shirt that's, like, a little bit cropped? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just feeling more comfortable in my skin to explore things when it comes to, like, attire and fashion, But
she gonna show some little crowd yitties.
Show a little skin, I'm gonna show my little yitties.
What's that one movie? Adam Sandler's 51st Dates, where he comes up.
Yeah, that might be me one day. I don't know. I just don't like to.
With the coconut
But yeah, I got you. I might do the coconut and the hula dance. Y'all don't fucking know. Watch out. Maybe I'm good at it. You feel me? You don't know. But I don't know. Yeah, I just label myself as I am, who I am. I have masc energy sometimes. I have femme energy sometimes. I'm on at the end of the day.
Love that for you.
What about you, brother?
I'm confused. I'm a map syrup in here. So, y'all viewers, what you think I am? All right, I'm gonna let y'all give me the spiel on what you think. The label, I guess, because
I mean, you know what you are? You're that is it Swaggy P gif with the question marks? Yeah, that's what you are. Confused.
Yep, I am confused. Hey. But I'm loud and proud, all right?
Hey, we love that.
Ma'am, sir, loud and proud.
As long as you own who you are, I think that's what matters at the end of the day. Like, don't feel like you have to fit in this societal box of, like, this is how I label myself. Yes. This is who I am. This is where I fit and this is where I belong. Like, just be yourself. And, going through your journey of, like, finding what you like, what you don't like. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't limit yourself, because I felt like that's what I did. Like, I had to limit myself. Like, okay,
yeah, because you start getting conscious about everything.
And it's really the group that you hang out with.
That
you know
too.
What I'm saying? It makes such a difference with the people you surround yourself with, for sure.
Y'all want to come hang out with us?
Confused? I'm on. All right, before we close out, we just wanted to briefly touch on what's coming on the next episode. So we're going to do a quick Pride recap for both San Francisco and San Diego, talk about our experience there, all the people that we got in touch with, all the networking that we did. So we're looking forward to sharing that with y'all. So stay tuned. With that said, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate the love as always. Please continue to share our stories. We are available on YouTube, on Spotify, on Amazon, on iHeartRadio. And also come tap in with us on Instagram and TikTok. We love to hear from our audience and our Les Banter family. Please slide in those DMs. As mentioned, we are available and our episodes will be dropping every wet Wednesday, every other wet Wednesday at 7 o'clock PT Pacific time. So tap in, and we just appreciate everything y'all have done thus far and look forward to more. Les Bros out.
What's good? Welcome to Let's Banter, y'all. Oh, wait. I started too ahead. Okay, yeah, you're right. I forgot about the claps.
She was ready. She said, "What's good?" I love the energy, though. Why are you coming next to my mic? Go next to your mic.
Go.
Get it and take one. Go.
Okay. Oh, let me catch you. All right. Whoa.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. What's good, y'all? Welcome to Let's Banter. We're on episode 5. Shout out to y'all. What?
You said episode 5. I was like,
Fuck the Celtics. Lakers all day, baby.
Sacramento Kings all day, every day. Thank you very much. Like the beam, bitches. Okay, bye. All right. Is that the Blues Clues? Clearly, we're fucking delusional. Okay. All right. Before we close out, just wanted to quickly touch on our next episode where we'll be. I was doing so good.
Even from anybody, come and share our stories too. For those that don't even know about us. Yo, I got like so many thoughts in my head.
Batteries exhausted. Got tired of us and your wieners. I got tired of your wieners.